Hi, welcome to the demo movie about some high-level integration between the Management Information System Cerm and our EskoArtwork Workflow server Backstage. Cerm is one of the many MIS partners of EskoArtwork. They're mostly seen in Europe. We have a few dozen common customers with Backstage, and they're very proactive in the field of JDF, so we have some great integrations with Cerm, as you will see in this movie. This is the usual schema where we show how JDF and JMF can help communicate between an MIS and Backstage. There is something specific in this movie, which is that we not only talk and communicate on the job level in Backstage, see the job overview, but we now, and that is new, communicate also on product level. So we use Regal JDF to communicate on product status as well. Let's start the movie illustrating the two products again. On the left you have Cerm, on the right Backstage with its two databases. Cerm, of course, as an MIS system has many components, and we will go through a whole workflow using both applications. Let's start the movie with a message that comes in from the end customer, which is ordering at, in this case, a label printer, but this could be a folding carton workflow at the same time. And this customer wants to order a print of 3 juices. One juice, the mango juice, is actually new. So that has never been printed before. So this is a job order of 2 reruns and 1 new product. The MIS user here will first in Cerm create a new product linked to a specific customer they have, the customer Funky Juice. And it'll be based on another product. It will be based on the label of the tomato juice. They now create the product of the mango juice, which is very similar, but of course the barcode is different. And in this case they paste it from the email, and he fills in some more parameters on the article level, the product level in the MIS. Often these are called articles, products, items, SKUs, they have many names. This is to be informed to Backstage now on product level. What is also done on this product level is maybe the MIS and these people already receive a design file. So in this case, the design file is taken as an attachment from the email. Of course, that's just one method. And now all is ready to send to the people Backstage, and they will take care that this new design becomes a new approved product. That is their first job, that is their first mission. So let's have a look Backstage what happens there. If something needs to be done in this field of prepress and production, it is a job. It's a job to do. So we have a new job. We're filtering to the customer Funky Foods. We're filtering to the jobs we received from the MIS today, and we find a new job which has this name. And it's all about the mango juice, because we first have to make this new product, which is not available yet. We only have the design file. The operator starts his automatic workflow, and you will see the product status change until we have a real finished product. We're using the automation engine and Backstage, and we're using a lot of these communication tools. A first tool that we use is the to-do list, where a checkpoint asks us to check the customer's original file, which in this case was an Illustrator file. And he uses the Backstage viewer, a shortcut to the Backstage viewer, to quickly analyze what was sent as a new design. Operator zooms in on the barcode, and he sees that the barcode is a bit too funky, so that will have to be corrected. Okay, that was the first analysis that is often done in the viewer. So this first check was completed. Now we know really what we have to do, what we're up at, and the status of the product changes. It's now in prepress editing phase. So it's time to do some editing. That's our new to-do, and it tells us we have to check the inks in the barcode basically, and we're opening the normalized PDF in this case. This could as well be an ARPRO workflow. It's the same thing, but in this case we're using the extra communication we have in package that's also following an ARPRO. What the operator just did, he just put one ink called cutter. He put on a technical attribute, so we don't send it to the RIP, for instance. Other kinds of editing, yes, indeed, correct this dummy barcode. Very important here that we don't type in the barcode number, of course. We receive the barcode number from Backstage, who received it from MIS. So in this case, a simple create will create the barcode, and of course we are not typing it in again. That's the symbol there of the orange icon, which is the lightning flash. That means that was flashed in from Backstage, a job parameter, which actually came in from JDF from MIS. In the meantime, we see that Backstage has been tracking my edit session, in this case in package. So Backstage started to track what I'm doing with which file and how long that takes. Of course, this is the kind of information that we have to send back to MIS systems, most probably for very general statistics on editing, maybe per customer. Okay, let's switch this off. We finished the editing, let's say that this is a good production file now, and so this to-do is actually completed. The status is now all about checking the quality of the file in the viewer. What quality check could we do there? Just an example, we use the shortcut to the Backstage viewer, and we just saw this file in package, but what we can do here is actually compare this file, whether it's Mac or Windows. This demo is on Windows because MIS is also Windows in this case. But now we're comparing the production file with an Illustrator file, and hence we see the differences. So this is the usual check where our differences in the production file are only the wanted differences, so not any unwanted mistakes. Let's say that now we think the production file is fine. So that'll put the status on that we're asking approval from the end customer. In this case, it's not an email or a PDF or to the CSR. We're going to use WebCenter, which we'll come back to in a second. What has happened in the meantime? Backstage has been communicating back to the MIS system already. In the MIS, if you look at the attributes of the product mango juice, we see that a JPEG thumbnail has arrived, or any kind of thumbnail. And of course, that's good to see that nobody has to ask for that. It just appears in the MIS. We also see that the statuses have arrived and the timing, the sequential statuses. So we have a very good idea of what is happening really in production. We see the actual separations present in the production file, not just their number and how many and their name, but even the ink coverage, whether it's square, millimeters, inches, and also the percentage. And that is very valid information already fed back fully automatically into the MIS. What we also see here in this MIS is the actual timings that were used to work in Prepress up to the real editing phase. And we also see the latest status of the product, in this case being proved on WebCenter. So it's now up to the WebCenter community, probably the end customer, to be invited. That's fully automatic as well. And those people will come and log into WebCenter, which we will show now. The end customer, that was Edward, is logging in because he received an email or because he's on WebCenter the whole day. And in his to-do list, there's one document waiting for his approval, which is the file we just made from his design. The end customer sees the same file in a very similar viewer, of course, like in the Backstage viewer. This is the outside version of it. This is a WebCenter viewer, same technology. And the end customer might, depending on what the nature of his job, might look at the file, graphically analyze the separations, check the barcode, or actually some other people might really be more interested in the correcting of the table of contents of the text in the file. Depends on who Edward really is. Edward here approves it. He thinks that everything looks okie dokie. Of course, this can be more than one Edward. This could be the whole group of people. That's the usual workflow in WebCenter. What's most important is that WebCenter comes to a conclusion and sends the file and the status back to Backstage. And look, our product is now approved. We have a new mango juice that is really approved. And that was the whole goal. And look how the status also goes fully automatic into the MIS. If the MIS knows that all the products are approved, then MIS can actually tell the Backstage department, the pre-press and production department, to start really producing these guys. Because now also the mango really exists. We here symbolize that by maybe another email that comes in that says, hey, you user of Cerm, this is my reference for the job order. I like that mango file, by the way, and you better produce these guys. And he mentioned the amounts to print. So now in Cerm, we actually have a sales order that's being prepared. Very important with the customer, so we send the invoice to the right people. And we can paste in the reference that the customer put in the email, which is the name that the end customer will name that job order. Let's see what we do next. And then, of course, very important is the delivery date, the due dates, the shipping dates, or any internal extra milestones that this job could have. Very important in the job order is, of course, which products are we going to produce. And now we do have the 3 finished products. And so 30,000, 30,000. And this is where it's typed in. So these are the products from the customer: Funky Foods, Funky Juice, and 30,000 tomatoes, 30,000 of these. And then the mango, the new guy, is very popular. We think we're going to sell a lot. So we print 40,000 copies. Now we have a job order and the link to 3 products, articles, items, SKUs that have to be produced. This is a real sales order in MIS now, and we're going to another little piece of interface where the MIS wants to know how this is going to be produced. Calculations, sales calculations, and we start to approach actually the planning. We also just indicated that this is a reprint, but also with a new product. So all kinds of attributes of a job in MIS. We see more info on the products to print. We recognize the 3 labels here. We start to have some more information about the press. If that's the press, then that will be the roll and the winding attributes. And if that's the press, this will probably be the with this rotary die, we'll have to take care that it's a 3x5 stepped label. So our step repeat parameters are actually in the MIS, and we have the final trim size as well. We saw that there. So all this information is in the MIS. Now what MIS will usually do next is to get this thing scheduled, so we know in which order we're going to use our presses, our most valid devices in the company. And we choose a press, and you see some typical interface in an MIS where it's linked to a press and it follows a certain planning of that press. What you see here, so on that press, on the top, we're going to do some douche creams, and then the banana juice, then the mango juice, and then the other one. Okay, you see that this press has a few jobs to do, and you see that the press, because we know the product attributes, we also know the amounts of plates and where they might be common or different. And we also see that for some products we might already have the plates okay, and for some not yet. Okay, so this is all information that's very valuable, of course, to send to the pre-press production department, and that is again done by a decision to send the job to Backstage. Here a button called JDF, it could be automatic, and there we go. So MIS is telling Backstage now here, this could be JDF or JMF communication, sort of the same thing, just another technique, and this information goes to the production department. Let's have a look what happens now in Backstage. This is a second job, let's say, in Backstage. Some people do this in one job in Backstage. Here we split it up in 2. We first made the mango, we communicated that back, and now we have a new job, which is actually telling us to produce the multiple labels, actually produce, to print them. We see the category, which is one of the parameters in MIS. We see the customer's reference for the job coming in, and we see the step repeat parameters 3 by 5, etc. All coming in via JDF. This job order, tada, has already asked us which products to link in. So Backstage automatically receives these 3 product links. The operator already clicked on his favorite ticket and his workflow starts. And he sees that the 3 items are actually green and approved, because that's how we configured it. This job is all about outputs, so the actions now might be typical output actions. The first one was a step repeat. Fully automatic, yes, because we know the step repeat parameters, we receive them. It's a 3 by 5 situation. Again, we're using the Backstage viewer, who can view almost about anything. So we analyze the ripped plate in the Backstage viewer. There we go. Just symbolizing a quality check phase. Quality check was okay. And this means that we're about to have the plates made, in this case on a CDI. This intermediate status is already communicated back to MIS. You'll see that later, but let's first see what happens on the CDI. But this is also about JDF communication, actually. The 3, as you can see in the Digital Flexo suite, which is the software front end of the CDI, Backstage or the Nexus or Flexus rep have actually forwarded these separation sets to the Digital Flexo suite, and they have arrived in that front end of the CDI. This status actually is now also communicated back to Backstage. That's because both the CDI and Backstage can speak JDF, so they chat JDF to each other. The status in Backstage was new, and if we now start to really use these separations in the merger of the Digital Flexo suite, this is a next phase actually in this work, and we're approaching the plate imaging. This phase that the separations have made it to a plate merge, which is now confirmed, is seen as a real CDI job. Again, this new status on the CDI is also communicated back to Backstage. As you can see now, the CDI state is not new, it's called CDI. Actually, it means it's been merged on a real plate. And it's about to be imaged on the actual device. The plate type was, of course, already chosen. This symbolizes the start of the imaging on the CDI. The CDI is in the process of imaging. Also, this is communicated back to Backstage because these 2 speak JDF to each other. We are in the running phase, meaning the drum is spinning. The CDI has been imaging the plate. The plate has been imaged. Next status. Of course, as you can guess, this keeps on going back to Backstage. And if Backstage is informed of these things, of these statuses, you can see that the imaging is done. So the whole communication to the CDI is actually finished. It's green. The plates have been made. This is a bit more information than just the separations has been ripped. So thanks to the communication with the CDI, we can have some more information in the workflow. And of course, we also communicate that back to MIS. So that MIS not only knows when the file was ripped, but that MIS also knows when the CTP is actually finished. And look how this comes back, because we keep confirming milestones back to the MIS. The milestone is that the plates are okay. That concluded the demo, because when the plates are finished, we consider the job done. So Backstage will have informed the MIS that the job is done. And basically we've shown you the whole workflow. Looking at the scheme, again, what have we shown you? We've shown you the state of the art, really, of how an MIS can forward job specifications to Backstage. For the first job was to create the Mango to real product. The second job was to produce the 3 wanted labels. And the whole feedback, which is so important in this business case, the right and on-the-fly and automatic status of the file and all its attributes, the inks, the amount of plates, what status it is in, what approval status it is in, etc. And then up to the milestones of the plate making itself. This is so important for MIS, because then you get real optimized scheduling, and of course, if we can help a little bit the scheduling of a press, you can calculate what the value is here. Another thing that really helps is the fact that the CSRs, the people working on the commercial part on the MIS with the customers, have instant information on the fly of what the status of the file and the job is. So nobody has to call anybody for extra information or disturb anybody to recall how many inks this file has, etc. That's the usual very interesting overview of all the value of integrating MIS with a server like Backstage. In this demo we use the label because it's easy on a laptop if you demo. But basically this workflow is not different for any carton or flexible or other converter environment, nor even a trade shop. This is pretty much the status, the best status of JDF integration you can get here at this time, which is early 2009. Do not hesitate to contact us for any further information on maybe help to get this MIS integration done in your house. Thank you.